Hi, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today I have Sheri. How do I say your last name?
Motohashi.
Motohashi.
Yes.
Are you Japanese?
I'm not.
You're not Japanese.
Could you tell?
How'd you get that last name?
Well, a million years ago, like in 1988, I moved to Japan and I married a Japanese man. And I lived there for 12 years.
Wow, okay.
So that's how that happened.
There you go. And you kept the last name?
Well, yeah. Unless you go through the courts and change everything, that's your name, yeah.
Got you. Okay, we'll get back to that. So Sheri is a current personal trainer and a bodybuilder. Right?
Bodybuilder wannabe, yeah.
When was the last show you competed?
That was 2023.
Yeah.
WNBF.
WNBF, okay.
I don't know if you can see it. Natural athlete.
There we go. A full lifetime natty?
Yes, lifetime natty. Can't you tell? No one has ever accused me of being on steroids. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha, okay. Could you tell us how your fitness journey started?
Yeah. I remember exactly, very clearly, the day.
The day it started.
The day it started. Yeah. It was when I was 54 years old, and I'm 62 now, so that's about 6 years ago. And I was shopping in Metrotown. And at that time, I was over 200 pounds.
Wow, okay.
I had a limp from an accident. And I was trying to find some clothes to make me feel better, look more attractive.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been in a changing room when you're overweight,
the lighting, isn't it?
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
And of course, nothing I put on made me feel good. And the bigger, I am so sorry. The bigger you are, when you're short like me.
Me too.
It's gonna work. They make clothes ugly. I don't know how to put it any other way. All the cute stuff is in size 4, size 6, size 8. I felt like all the stuff in my size, which was getting up to size 20 or 22, was really ugly. And I felt disgusting. I felt terrible. And I had what they call the Harajuku moment.
Have
you heard of that?
No, I haven't.
It's like an epiphany that you have where you suddenly realize something about your life or yourself, and you that's it. That's the turning point.
Okay.
And I decided that's it. I'm done with this, and I never looked back.
Gotcha. Okay. So you started at 54.
At 54.
How hard was that to start?
Right now, when I feel like it wasn't hard at all. Isn't that weird?
Right now you feel like it's not hard
compared to how hard it is right now to go on a cut? It feels like it wasn't that hard. But probably at the time, maybe it was. Yeah.
At the time, starting at 54, was it scary stepping onto the gym?
Yeah, I was very self-conscious, of course. I see this with my clients now, too. They're very intimidated.
Yeah.
They think everyone's looking at them. Spoiler alert, no one is.
That's right,
They're all looking at themselves.
Yeah.
So I wear a big, long, baggy shirt. Biggest pants I had. And I didn't know anything, so I just went in and I used the cardio machine.
That's how you got started?
Twice a day, yeah.
Right. I think that's how most people get started when they want to start fitness.
It's true.
It's cardio.
Yeah, cardio and, of course, diet.
That's right.
Yeah, I immediately, stopped eating.
And you're a personal trainer now.
Yes.
Did you have a trainer back then?
Not in the beginning, no.
Okay.
I think probably about 2 years in, I got a trainer. I went through a series of trainers, actually.
Gotcha. You got to find your right one.
Yeah,
right?
It's true.
So, what was your relationship with your body like in your 30s and 40s, and even early 50s?
I think the 30s and 40s, I wasn't in a particularly happy marriage.
Okay.
And I spent too much time trying to make my significant other happy.
Yeah.
And focused way too much time and energy on that. An impossible task, by the way. So I kind of lost who I was. And I was, I guess, eating to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
You know, food is a big comfort, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So I was, every year I noticed I was getting heavier and less energy. I had very high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of issues.
Gotcha. Okay. And you lived in Japan for many, many years?
Yes, many years.
What did that chapter of your life teach you?
Oh, wow. That's a really hard question.
Right.
That wherever you go, there you are. Have you ever read the book Don't Sweat the Small Stuff?
No.
I read it first in Japanese.
Okay. Is it a Japanese book?
Yeah, and then it's been or I'm not sure which came first.
Okay,
Maybe it was in English first and then translated into Japanese, but I read it in Japan. And basically, everybody thinks that if they move to another country or change jobs or change relationships, they're going to be a different person.
Yeah.
But actually, wherever you go, there you are.
Right.
It's still you. So that was the first thing I learned. And I think the second thing I learned was that even though there are many interesting and different things about Japan, which overwhelm you in the beginning, and it's exciting and fun and also horrifying, everybody everywhere in the world is the same. After a certain period of time, you get up, you eat breakfast, you go to work, you come home, you do the dishes, you go to bed.
Right.
Everybody in the world is doing the same thing. Yeah.
At what part of Japan did you live at?
In Saitama.
Saitama.
A couple different locations in Saitama, yeah.
Okay.
So about an hour, most of the time about an hour and a half out of Tokyo.
How old were you when you moved there?
That was 1988. I think I was 26, 27, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what were you doing before Japan, and what were you doing in Japan?
So before that, I was an elementary school teacher in Canada, in Alberta.
Okay. You're from Alberta?
No, actually.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm from. I was born in Alberta.
Born in Alberta.
But lived in the United States till I was 5.
Okay.
And my parents got divorced. And we moved back to Canada, to British Columbia.
Yeah.
And then when I was 17, I moved back to Alberta.
Okay.
And then I was 26, I moved to Japan.
Well traveled.
So I'm like, where am I from? I don't know. Yeah. And then when I was in, so.
What were you doing? In Japan, what were you doing?
In Japan, you don't get a lot of options in Japan.
Yeah.
So I was an English instructor.
Okay.
Started off at a private language school and then eventually transitioned into public schools as an assistant English teacher, like the head assistant English teacher for a prefecture.
Right.
So that was a sweet deal.
Yeah.
I got to drive around, have coffee a lot, and pretend I was working.
How was it teaching Japanese kids English?
I enjoyed teaching the adults.
Okay. Yeah.
I absolutely hated teaching the children.
Yeah.
Like once a week, I would have to go to the elementary school, and I would just be depressed.
Okay.
The day before, and the day after, and the day during. It was horrifying.
And did you move to Japan because you met your ex-husband, or?
No. There was. It's funny. Nothing ever changes. There weren't any jobs. Well, actually, maybe now there are, but jobs for elementary school teachers were really limited.
Yeah.
And if you wanted a job, you'd have to go up north to reservations.
Okay.
And there's some horror stories of things that happened to young blonde women on the reservations. Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And this was at the Japan boom time. Everybody and their dog was going to Japan.
Yeah.
To teach and supposedly making tons of money.
Yeah.
People were throwing money at you. So I hopped on a plane with $200 in my pocket, no work visa, and a one-way ticket.
To Japan?
To Japan.
Damn, okay.
No cell phones.
No cell phone, just $200?
No Google Translate.
Did you have a job offer already?
Nope.
Okay.
I had nothing.
What made you take that big risk?
Truth be told?
Yeah.
It was less hard than choosing a job on a reservation.
Right.
And I was in a relationship living with someone that I just couldn't seem to get out of.
Okay.
And I thought, let's just leave the country.
Right. That's the best way to do it.
Right?
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Teacher in Japan. You told me off the pod, you ended up becoming a principal.
Yeah.
at an international school?
Yeah, that was here. I went through when I came back to Canada, I
Yeah.
started teaching at language schools here.
Mhm.
And then I transitioned into administrative, like academic coordinator, and director, and then eventually principal of the
Gotcha.
school.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you first moved there, becoming a teacher, was the pay good?
It was good.
It was
yeah,
good, yeah.
actually. And it got to the point where you couldn't pay me enough to do stuff.
Right.
People, because you're the token foreigner.
Yeah.
There weren't as many foreigners then, especially in my area.
Yeah.
So, just for example, people would be like, will you come give a speech? We'll give you $600 for like a 20-minute speech. All right.
Okay.
But it just got to the point where, well, I'd rather not do this horrible thing and just forget the money. Yeah.
Did you like being a teacher overall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like teaching.
And you're fluent in Japanese, I'm assuming?
Yeah, my writing and reading are not particularly great
Yeah.
because I've never studied kanji at all.
Okay.
So,
But you could conversate.
yeah, the
fluently.
speaking is definitely no problem. Listening, no problem. Yeah.
Was it fun being in Japan?
I'm going to say it was, there were a lot of fun times
Yeah.
in the beginning. And then because I lived there a long time, I wouldn't describe it as fun. It was just my life,
Right.
right? I have a job. I have friends. It was just
That's
like,
your life,
is
yeah.
Canada fun? You know what I mean? So that's, yeah, it's like, I wasn't there for vacation.
Gotcha.
It's just my life, yeah.
Okay, let's get back into bodybuilding. When you first heard the term bodybuilding, what did it mean to you then, and what does it mean to you now?
I think it was quite a ways into like my what would it be, my fourth trainer that I learned about bodybuilding actually. It's still my current coach.
Okay.
It just meant building a lot of muscle to me, honestly. Yeah, looking good, looking shredded,
Yeah.
looking big. Yeah.
Can you tell us how important it is to find the right trainer?
Oh, it's everything. Absolutely everything, yeah.
Like I tell my clients, like I'm a trainer as well, but I tell my clients, all of them, like a trainer's like a therapist. You got to find your right match.
It's true,
Right?
yeah. And for a variety of reasons, not just personality wise, but they have to not only inspire you, but they have to listen to you. And you'll probably have learned this as a trainer yourself. You can't just do what you want to do,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
right? Even if what the client wants to do doesn't exactly match with your typical way of doing things,
Yeah.
you still have to listen to the client.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
the coaches that I didn't stay with
Didn't listen to you.
didn't listen to me.
Gotcha. Okay. And you're still with your coach now?
Yes.
How many years has it been then with your coach?
Oh my gosh. So must be since 2019, right? Yeah.
And is he just coaching you, giving you workout programs, or is he one-on-one training with you?
So since I transitioned into being a personal trainer myself,
Yeah.
we rarely meet. We're
Okay.
both busy. So every now and then when I need a little inspiration or I want to get my ass kicked,
Send him a little text.
I'll book a session with him. And he coached me through my first bodybuilding competition, of course, because you should always have someone helping you with that,
That's right, yeah.
because you're going to want to give up.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I don't really. But in the beginning, really it was just in-person training. He didn't prepare programs for me at that time. Later on, when I wanted to do a show, then he would prepare some programs for me. Yeah.
Let's talk about that show. What made you decide to want to hop on stage?
This is awful to admit. I had always said that, like, if I didn't have all of the issues that I have here, which is a giant cesarean scar, this way, not even this way, because I had my children in Japan,
Yeah.
and loose, wrinkly skin from pregnancy and losing 100 pounds, then I would happily put on a bikini and get on stage.
Yeah.
So I said, if you find me a bodybuilding show where I don't have to wear a bikini, I'm
Yeah.
in.
Okay, yeah.
But there wasn't any such thing. So I was actually decided that I would never do it. And then this is in 2023. I had a client who, very good client of mine, used to train her and her children every day.
Wow. Okay.
5 days a week.
Yeah.
And she said, please, 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 please do it. If you do it, then I'll do it.
Okay.
And I will sponsor you. I will help you.
Mhm.
I said, well, okay. I said I would do it.
And did
Yeah.
you guys end up doing it together?
No.
No. Okay. She backed
Thanks
out.
for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was not the best reason to do a show, I'm guessing, because
Yeah.
someone said, why don't you just do it? I said, okay. But that's why.
And how was the journey
To the show?
to the show? The diet, the training.
Up till that point, I had always practiced basically what you do for a show.
Okay.
So every year I would do a lean bulk
Yeah.
and a cut
Okay.
and a prep week.
Mhm.
Like everything you would do except get on stage.
Yeah.
But instead of getting on stage, I had a video made.
Gotcha.
And you can see some of my videos on my page. Like a professional videographer, came into the gym, did a cool soundtrack.
Okay.
I
yeah.
thought I looked cool. I probably looked like an idiot.
No, you look. I've stalked your Instagram. You look cool.
Yeah. So it was, that was a lot of fun. So I had something to work towards
Yeah.
because I wasn't going to get on stage,
Mhm.
but I could still highlight my progress and my success. Yeah.
Gotcha. What was the hardest part before the show? Or was it the show itself?
I think the hardest part before the show was because I probably wasn't doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Everybody says that, my brain was just in the wrong place for that.
Yeah.
And of course you get very, very hungry.
Yeah.
And each year that you get leaner, it gets harder.
Yeah.
So the first cut I did, it was hard, but it wasn't that hard.
Right.
But the longer you do this, it gets harder. And you have less body fat, so I was freezing all the time.
Right.
And this was spring, so I'm prepping and walking around the bikini in February.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so cold. I already had a pretty high cardio step count.
Okay.
Because of my job, so like 10, 15,000, 20,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
So then being told, well, you need to do some additional cardio. Well, now I got to be doing 30,000 steps a day.
That's nice. Yeah.
What the heck? So that was, to me, the extra cardio, the freezing,
Yeah.
and near the end, so weak I couldn't even lift 5 pounds.
Wow.
That was like maybe the last 3 weeks, 3 weeks. Near the end, when I was exhausted from the extra cardio, freezing from having low body fat, and extremely weak, could barely lift 5 pounds by the end.
But during the day of the show, you had energy.
Yeah, I mean you're very scared.
Right.
That's the hardest part of a show. Actually, is it's not the dieting. For me anyway, it's not the training, because I do that anyway.
Right.
And like I said, I've done that several times. It's the posing.
The posing.
And posing in, men don't have to do this, in stilettos, like heels like this.
Yeah, because women wear heels.
Man,
yeah.
is that hard. Like that was the hardest part, honestly.
Okay. I think people don't realize how hard posing is.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
and like every muscle in your body is cramping.
And you have to flex,
But
right?
you have
as
to be
well?
like, you're happy.
Yeah, smile. Yeah.
I'm so happy to be spreading my cheeks and, facing people.
Because sometimes after a workout, I'll check my pump.
Yeah.
And I'll flex for like 10 seconds. I'm out of breath.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It's tough.
It wasn't bikini isn't really like bodybuilding. Bodybuilding light. So
Okay.
you're not doing muscle poses really.
Okay.
Yeah, which is also a little disappointing.
That's what you want?
I kind of would rather do that, like,
Right.
yeah. Although my friend told me, this is funny,
Yeah.
if she ever watches this, sorry. But she told me I had her do my check-in photos the day before the show.
Yeah.
And then as she's doing them, she says, oh, it's interesting how it looks like you have no muscle.
No. That's the worst thing you can say.
I was like, oh, man.
Like, are you serious?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But you lose a lot of muscle.
You do.
Yeah, when you're cutting like that, yeah.
Since starting your fitness journey, what surprised you most about your own strength?
that I can do hard things.
You do.
I guess
Yeah.
I can do hard things, and that I like it. Yeah. Is that strange?
No, so it's more mental then. You're saying.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you've gone through a lot in life, right? Experienced a lot.
Old, yeah.
I'm not saying you're old.
It's okay. I own it.
And what kept you going on the days your body was hurt or your spirits were low?
I mean, I won't say that I was perfect every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Just knowing that every day is a chance to try again.
Every day's a chance.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I have lots of clients that give up.
Yeah.
And I remember they would tell me, well, I kind of screwed up today on the diet or the exercise, so I'll start again next week. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
What's wrong with tomorrow, you
Yeah.
know? So I think that's, every day is a chance to start anew.
To better yourself.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. How do you handle comparison to younger women or men?
Oh, that's really awful. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's face it, not just because of my age, but also because of, injuries, the fact that I was morbidly obese before and lost a lot of weight, and don't have money for fancy surgeries. I often compare myself. Social media is, of course, terrible for that. So I just remind myself that, and my coach was very good at this too, all the time. Because I would do that. Well, I don't look like them. Look at that. I'm never going to look like that. He's like, you just have to be the best version of you. Why don't we focus on getting you in the best shape of your life? And then I kind of try to focus on that all the time.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
It is hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone on Instagram looks so good now.
Oh, and I have a male client who I've
Yeah.
talked about this with him so many times. He's really hard on himself, and I'm like, your body now, which you don't think is great.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a pretty good transformation. Is pretty. That's what people look like. People don't look like that.
Yeah, that's like perfect lighting, perfect pump.
People don't look like my coach. No, or like Alvin. People don't look like this.
No,
Yeah.
I look terrible.
Yeah. So we do have a very warped image of what a good-looking body is now.
That's right, yeah. My next question, what do you wish more women knew about starting late?
That it isn't too late.
Yeah.
And that you can change a lot of things about your health through strength training and proper nutrition.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to the doctor. No shade on doctors. Doctor's job is to give you medicine.
Right.
That's how they're trained. They're not trained in curing the root causes of your illnesses, generally speaking, where they might give you some very basic, useless advice. So if you're not feeling well, if you feel weak, if you feel tired, not everybody, obviously, but there are a lot of things that can be improved through proper nutrition and strength training, and especially things for older women, like bone density and hormonal changes. It's very important.
Very important. Gotcha. What do you have to say to the women who think lifting weights will make them big and bulky?
I get that all the time. And I have a client right now, actually, who I've been working with for a year now. And she said, both her and her friend said the exact same thing when they started with me. And I just slapped my knee. If you build more muscle than me, I will kill myself.
Right.
Like here, I'm out here busting my butt every single day, and I barely look like I lift. The chances that you're going to look like some roided out female bodybuilder from Brazil
that's
are
right.
zero. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, it's
tell-
not that easy.
That's right. I tell everyone, if you want to be bulky, you need to try so hard to be bulky.
And unless you have superior genetics,
Right, exactly.
you're not going to anyway. Yeah. And have you ever seen the strongest girls? are the little Asian female power lifters.
That's right. Yeah.
These girls are like stick thin.
Uh-huh.
You know, most of the time don't even look like they lift, but they're lifting.
They're deadlifting
so
like
heavy.
315.
Oh, you're squatting, deadlifting, bench pressing.
Yeah.
Why don't they look huge?
Right.
So it's just, it doesn't work that way. Yeah.
Have you ever felt like you're reclaiming something that was once lost?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every day. And I regret losing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I was never like a bodybuilder or an athlete, but I used to be in not bad shape when I was, younger, living in Canada, and even when I was first living in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And I regret what I did to my body.
Yeah.
Because, some things I can't take back. And I had a very serious accident with my leg, which probably wouldn't have happened or ended up the way it did if I had better bone density. Mm-hmm. Because when I had my accident, at that point, my bones were like chalk.
Yeah.
They were so weak. But now, they're like iron.
There we go. Yeah. What's your deadlift?
Current max on a trap bar is 300.
Yeah.
Been chasing 315 for a while. It's evading me. And on conventional, it's 225. I haven't actually tried more.
Yeah.
I switched over to trap bar because I've developed arthritis.
Okay.
It's just hard. It's harder. So trap bar helps me a little bit with that. Yeah.
I like trap bar more than.
Me too, right? Yeah. And ergonomically for your body, it's better for your body.
Right.
So I do have a lot of my clients doing trap bar deadlift now.
Yeah, I think all my clients are on trap bar deadlift.
Are they?
I don't put any of them.
I only have one who does sumo.
Okay.
She's wicked strong.
Got you. How do you define strength now, and how has that changed with age?
I think mental strength is kind of key for me. And yeah, I don't know how I would answer that, how it has changed as I age, because maybe I never thought about it before.
Gotcha.
It's something to think about now, but I don't think I ever thought about it before. But yeah, I think now about mental fortitude.
If you could tell your 18-year-old self something, a piece of advice, what would you give her?
A long list.
A long list.
Make more money.
Right.
Make money when you can. Save money. Don't chase after useless men.
Man ain't shit.
Focus on yourself. Don't invest all that you are in relationships. Invest in yourself. Yeah, would be the top things, I think. Yeah.
And you mentioned you have children?
Yes.
How are they?
They're good. They're just like me.
Are they also in the
have
fitness
their struggles?
space?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Although my my daughter did work out with me for a period of time, and she's kind of not doing it right now. And my son is a very funny story for him. He decided he was going to work out at home, so I gave him a little program to follow, and it's so annoying because just by the virtue of being a man and being young is strong. It's not fair.
That's right.
What the heck? So he was, able to do, pretty heavy squats, with dumbbells and things like that at home. And he was, improving and increasing. And then I'm not sure what happened. He hurt his knee. Something happened. He got a little strain, whatever. And he stopped. And then he told me, he said, exercise is a scam. And at first I was kind of worried. I thought, does he think I'm scamming people? What is he talking about? And he said, no, you work out, you get strong, and then you get injured. You have to start all over again. There's no point.
I see.
Is what he said. I said, well, that's not true. There is a point. And yeah, you lose it, but it doesn't go away. It comes back faster the next time.
That's right.
You just keep, there is a point, but I have not been able to convince him of this fact. He's decided, no, not worth it.
Not worth it, okay.
Not worth it.
I think my brother's the same way.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Doesn't want to work out.
Yeah.
Are they in Vancouver? Are they in Japan?
Yeah, they're in Vancouver. We all live together. Not uncommon right now. No one can afford to live by themselves.
Okay, so you live with your kids then?
Yeah, I do.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
So you must be close with them?
Yeah.
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 Okay. What are they up to? What are they doing?
My son works at a grocery store,
Okay.
and my daughter is a social worker,
Mm-hmm.
and she works with seniors at a day center
Mm-hmm.
that have Alzheimer's or senility, that kind of thing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go back to Japan. How did the Japanese culture influence your views on, let's say, maybe health, discipline, or in either a negative or positive way?
I never liked the way they thought.
They thought, their mindset.
Yeah, I didn't like it because it's very rigid.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very rigid. And that just, that's not something I enjoyed. Also very patriarchal, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about men, and as a woman, it's not great to live there.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of have a negative feeling about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned a lot about devoting yourself to whatever it is that you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
even if I didn't do it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Their single-minded focus is incredible.
That's
No matter
right.
what hobby they choose, and my husband went through many, every penny and hour of their time will go to becoming the best at that.
Right.
It's like, I'm going to do photography. They buy every single expensive camera known to mankind, spend thousands of dollars on courses or whatever on this one thing.
Right.
Hyper-focused. It's very interesting. I don't really see that here.
Yeah, you don't really see that here.
Yeah.
Do you think it's an Asian thing?
I don't know, because
It's
I
a
don't
Japanese thing.
really have any experience with other cultures, but I think it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My dad's the same way.
Oh, really?
Also, my dad's a little. Never mind. My dad- Yeah, but my dad's the same way. He got into
Yeah.
photography, bought thousands and thousands of camera gear, also took courses,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What
You're
are
not
you
going to
doing?
be a professional
Yeah,
photographer.
You're not going to be
Yeah.
a National Geographic photographer.
So there was that, and then there was drumming. And then there was, what was the other? Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through a lot of these things, yeah.
Did you play golf?
No,
No?
hate it.
Was it because he played golf?
Probably. Someone had to take care of the kids.
That's right.
But yeah.
Camera died, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to end it there. But if you want to see more of Sheri, I'll leave all her links down below, and we'll have her back on again. Thank you,
Very
Sheri, for coming on. Very Asian, yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
It was lots of
you.
fun.
Okay. Bye.